Hey there, it's Chris. Welcome back to the Final Fantasy XII Ultima project here, where, as you can see, last time we were busy making this massive clay that kind of comes down and forms the main body of the dress here on Ultima. And between these last sessions, I went and just kind of tweaked some of the framing behind a little bit. We no longer have the bump out in front here. I pushed this back a little bit just to kind of make sure we have room, so we do the next layer of clay on top of this, it will have room to also kind of come in. And I thought about doing that on camera, but realized I couldn't set my camera up in such a way that I would be able to get that on film without like my hands and arms being like completely arm's length away from me to do it, which wouldn't have worked in the end. So did that part off camera. I also trimmed the bottom to get out to the correct height. And that one I can show. A little trick for that to get what I wanted was when I had planned on the height here, I figured this would be about 3/4 of an inch off the ground when I had the pole kind of fully inserted on that. So I went and just kind of got a 3/4 piece here, got another 3/4 block on there, and just kind of went around, trimmed right along the edge, kind of spin it around and just kind of keep trimming, trace, and trim. And that got this to approximately, some places are still a little high, some are a little low, but that got to approximately the height we need for that part. So that was really easy to do. I think I did some of that at the end of the last episode. I forget if I did that or not on camera, but that's how we got the height there to what we need that to be. And this time our goal is to make this look a little more presentable. Although that said, this can look ugly as heck for most of it, because frankly, all you're gonna see is maybe at most this much. Because this is just an underlayer for the lace. If we zoom in, all this one is that little fringe of lace that sticks out below that gold kind of trim. So that's like the most we're going to be seeing on this. So any of this stuff up here, that can stay looking terrible. That's 100% fine. And the reason for that is this is just basically a base layer for the next one to sit on top of. And I can do actually a little compare and contrast between another model I've done somewhat recently and this, just to give you an idea on different ways we can do a kind of dress or skirt condition. So give me a second and I will be right back with another one of my friends here, Rain the Night Witch. Alright, so here's Rain. I actually did her right before doing Bang. I recorded everything, but it's never uploaded that up. So she's about a year old. And the reason I want to bring her up on this is if we pop this off, she also has this kind of skirt condition going on. I don't think that's going to be very steady. All right, I need to put some things down here. Okay, and so we're looking at this is our skirt condition, because I can see on this one, if I have a pointer, we also have this kind of fringe condition with the main body. And the way I'd done that is I'd used a single piece of clay, molded it out, and just took a separate piece of trim, or a separate piece of clay, just kind of squished in afterwards to make this fringe on the outside. And the reason I can get away with this here and not on the Ultima project is this was done out of a single piece of clay. If I were to do... The one on the Ultima is just too massive to be able to do it out of a single piece, which means we're going to have seams inside here, and trying to connect the seams is going to help. It's going to really be super helpful to have a backing piece underneath it like this you can kind of push down to squish into. So if I were to come here and say I had to combine like a seam here and then another seam on top, that would have to come together because I can't physically send this much clay. I can't physically do it out of a single piece. I can now push up against this, something that's already hardened, to help me kind of blend it together as such. Whereas if I try to do it without an underlayer, it becomes really, really hard to do, which is also why the Ultima model I have on the side kind of looks the way it does right now, because it's really hard to blend some of those layers in. So this is a good piece to have, but I can't quite do the same techniques for this on the Ultima one that I did on here. It's just not going to work on this scenario. So we're going to exit Rain here, screen left, we're going to come back and we're going to start actually doing something on Ultima, because it's been a few minutes now and it'd be nice to get some actual stuff done. Okay, so now that you just saw the rain project there and how we dealt with the skirt condition on that, or I guess dress condition over here, as you can see now looking in, a lot of these kind of like little crundulations and stuff are just really, really hard to smooth out nicely when you don't have the solid backing kind of behind it. So this is basically just getting a formwork for the next layer to go on top of, and if this looks ugly, that's 100% fine. That said, what we can do is, to actually get started, we're going to need to make this look like the lace. As you can see on the side, all it is just kind of cutting out little kind of triangle-y parts, and we're just going to do that until we get this kind of looking like what it's supposed to look like. So if I come in, I'm just going to, I have to imagine that I'm going to be playing some music or something in the background in this while I'm actually going ahead with this part. So if that winds up being the case, enjoy the music. Okay, and there we have that. We now have all kind of little crenulations in here, which is good. But a slight problem on this in that lace is supposed to feel really thin. Now, we went and made this as thick as I could, given the roller that I have, so this would have some strength to it. So we need to make this feel thinner. So the way we do that is the very time-consuming way of, bring the camera down here, coming in and just kind of crimping the edge to make it, the edges of all these things, thinner. So once again, we're gonna probably go into either another music interlude or I'm just going to meet you back here after, but I'm going to go and thin up this whole thing. And with that done, just keep in mind, this is still, no matter how much detail I kind of put on this bottom part, this will still not look good until the next layer is put on top of that. So just keep that in mind. It's part of the process we have going on here. So again, we are dealing with lace, so I'm not sure whether it's better to try to put little dimples on here going up, or actually try to put little kind of holes on this. But I'm going to start on the back just in case this doesn't work. You're not going to see anything on the back, but let's just kind of put a little bit of this going on. This could be a while. Okay. And there we go with that. We zoom back out. I'm not even sure you can see that on the computer, but in real life now it does add quite a bit more detail to that. And in doing this and in pushing and pulling these kind of things, it's giving a little more flair to these kind of end pieces, which is really kind of helping bring this out, because that was going to be the next item on the list here before hardening, was that if there are any areas here that feel like they want to, like it just feels like really flat in here, and we want to have a little bit of flair, I can take some of the aluminum foil here and just kind of prop something up. I can stick it in, and now we all of a sudden we have a little extra flair kind of for certain areas. I can kind of do that around some of these to kind of give it a little more of that 3D form in here. And I'm just going to go ahead, take a lot of the aluminum foil here and just wrap some of this up into little kind of sheets. And again, any so often where it just kind of feels like it's really flat, like down here, we can just go and shove something in here just to give it a little bit more. I don't need much on this. I really don't want to overdo it. But I do want to have at least a little bit of kind of a little undulation kind of going on these guys. We can have a little going in, a little kind of coming out. We can make it feel a little more 3D. Or I almost don't even need it in the first place. If you can just kind of do that, and it comes out. But that's really it, other than just kind of, once again, going around the whole thing, adding these little pieces here just to enhance or reseed certain areas. That's all we really need to do on this in prep for hardening. So I want you to come out just a little bit more on this side. I can shove that in so this sticks out a little bit. We don't need to adhere 100% with the original one we have. We can always, just keep doing this until we get a desired result, aka something that looks good. And I know this isn't the most woohoo kind of episodes going on. It's been a busy week, and I did get that one drawing out, which I was really happy with last time. I like that Lamisa one. So I have been doing stuff this week. It's just I was hoping to have more of an episode going out for this one, but next time I'll have the weekend to work on it, and I'll hopefully then get this upper part of the upper dress kind of done and in and looking nice. And I think that's going to help bring this all together when I get to that point. But yeah, just kind of continuing this is all we need. I'm going to go around, kind of do a little kind of touch-ups on that. We're going to do our usual kind of pre-prep hardening. I'm going to take out the mineral spirits, kind of smooth everything down, or at least I'll smooth down these parts by the end here. And hopefully when I come back for the next session, this will all be hardened, and we'll be ready to actually make this look good. But like I said, I know it's one of those sessions, but it's one of those necessary ones we have to go through to make this work. And again, the only part that's going to be visible is this little bottom stretch, so nothing up here. Most of what you're looking at right now is not a finished result, or a quote-unquote finished result. So just keep that in mind, and yeah, look forward to next time. Next time should be the one where this all starts to come together. We like those episodes where things kind of come together. Those are the ones those ones we always kind of hope for, we work towards. So next time should be one of those. Actually, next 2 times probably, doing the dress and then the details up from that. But until then, and until we get to that next time, enjoy.